Welcome to Free Advice Guy. I'm Luke Halter, Free Advice Guy. I've been a certified financial planner professional since 2014. I worked at Vanguard for over 13 years, and I quit my job to change the world and give free financial advice to the masses. We're out here in Tempe, Arizona on Mill Avenue, hoping to help people walking by and have a great conversation and help them with their financial futures.
With gorgeous flowers, a sign, and a GoPro strapped to my chest, we got to work helping any passerby who had questions. It didn't take long for us to meet Molly, our first taker.
Yeah, I've been a certified financial planner, professional financial advisor since 2014. I worked at Vanguard for over 13 years, and I quit my job to change the world and give free advice to as many people as possible. So if you had any financial topics or questions, I would love to answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
After a brief conversation, we went to our little recording spot and dove in.
So yeah, like we were talking about, the most important piece is understanding your budget, what your surplus is every month or what your deficit is. If you have a deficit, you work to make changes to get your expenses lower so that you don't have a deficit, and eventually you get to a surplus. Because once you have that, you can then start building an emergency fund, and then it starts getting fun because you can start building financial goals and investing in savings towards those goals.
Yeah.
So your question was like, what's a good first goal? Mm-hmm. It's honestly a break even or better every month. That's the very first thing. For a lifelong goal, get your expenses as low as possible. A lot of people want to get the new car as soon as possible or get the new phone as soon as possible. They throw it on a credit card and now it's part of their life for the next however many years. So if you can work to get your budget truly figured out, because that's everyone's number one problem. Like even people who are good with money, they generally don't actually have any idea how much extra they have per month or how much negative they have per month. They're just kind of living life until something hits them in the face. So the hope is to avoid getting hit in the face with something financial, and that begins with a budget.
My mom has always stressed to me like credit cards are no. But I don't I feel like there are other ways to build my credit, but like not as fast and as easy.
Yeah.
So like, how do I get over that fear? Or like, what are some ways that like I can maintain?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. That might be the most important question. I believe America is over $1 trillion in credit card debt right now. So that fear is very real. But what you should do is only put things on the credit card you're gonna pay off at the end of the month anyway. Your gas or some sort of recurring bill that's gonna go to it, and then your auto gonna pay it. Like you should set your auto pay to pay off your full credit card bill every month, or however often you get paid. You should just knock it down every single time you get paid, and you'll build up credit over time. Where a lot of people start to make a mistake is, well, I can't afford this $1,200 phone, but I'll put it on this credit card.
Right.
And then it ends up on that credit card for, years. And then they end up paying $2,200 for a $1,200 phone because they had to pay interest over however many years. And then it gets into more problems because they put more and more on the credit card, building it more and more up. And that's how they end up in, well, I have $10,000 in credit card debt.
Yeah.
So use it smart. Just every month, whatever you're gonna pay off, put it on your credit card and do that, but nothing for fun. It should never be to buy something. If you can only afford it with a credit card, you can't afford it.
Okay. Yeah, that's good advice. I like that. Cool. Okay. I think that's all I got.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
this is our first time doing this. I stream online. I'm Free Advice Guy.
Okay.
So if you know what Twitch is or anything like that, I stream on Twitch. I have a YouTube and all that sort of stuff. I'm really just trying to change the world.
Yeah.
Financial advice is really hard for people to get into, and it's costly, and I want to do it for free.
Awesome.
So I appreciate this conversation so much. You have no idea. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. That was awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
I'm Luke also, Free Advice Guy, but I'm Luke.
Okay, Molly.
Molly, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Cool.
So if you ever have more questions, please just go to Twitch Free Advice Guy or YouTube Free Advice Guy or TikTok Free Advice Guy. I literally have a bunch of clips. You could just spam and sit there for an hour and a half and just get a bunch of different topics and questions answered. just from the clips rolling, but I'm also live. So you can come into chat and just ask me a question and I'll get you right there. If you want to hop in a Discord call, we can have an actual phone call, or if you just want to keep a chat, we can do that as well. I just want to make advice as easy as possible for everybody to have access to.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
It also turned out that cameraman Richard actually knows Molly. What a small world. That was actually kind of crazy.
All right, we got one person so far today. We're gonna keep pushing and see how many people we can help out. That's coming down pretty good. I'm standing in the rain trying to help people.
Not too long after speaking with Molly, Mother Nature decided it was time for a break. It began raining, and if you didn't know, rain and cameras don't mix, so we decided to wait out the storm. Shout out to Five Guys for letting us take shelter under their awning. That was a lifesaver. Truly appreciate it. It didn't take long for the rain to end. This is Arizona after all. Then we were right back at it. After a refill, of course. And before we could even set the camera back up, this happened.
What do you got? What's your main advice?
Oh man, well there are 5 steps to financial success. You need a budget. Like if I give you any piece of, to the dollar, you should know your surplus, your deficits, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You need an emergency fund, goals. Then you begin investing and saving. And then as your life changes, you sweep back through those steps and you continuously do that throughout your life.
Makes sense.
That would be it. Those are the 5 steps. Begin. The 5 steps to financial success.
Okay. Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thanks,
so
guys.
much. Okay. Have a good day.
And after that, we were right back to it. We had several people come by out of curiosity, but they didn't have any questions.
About anything, or I'm down to talk about life stuff too, but financial stuff is where my expertise is at. So if you ever need anything, I'm on Twitch, YouTube, everything. Free advice guy. Yeah.
I like to watch Twitch.
There we go. I will be on tonight.
Really?
So yeah, that is the donate one, but freeadviceguy.com. Yeah, if you take a picture of that, you'll see that's my logo on everything.
Okay. Perfect.
Cool. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too, and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
That is, until we met, well, we didn't actually get her name. I'm sorry about that. But she's Julia's wife. Maybe. We didn't see a ring. But she did prompose. Just wait to the end. It'll make sense.
My name's Luke. I'm free advice guy. What sort of questions you got?
My bank account is empty. How do I change that?
All right. So number 1, I'm assuming, do you have a job or no job?
I do have a job.
All right, step number 1, and this is for everybody. You should have a detailed budget, and I'm talking down to the pennies. You should know at the end of every month or every week, whatever your payment cycle is, what your surplus or your deficit is. If you have a deficit, you work to make those changes as fast as possible so you get to the point that you have a surplus every week or every month, however you do your finances. But a budget is step number 1. That's honestly where most people begin to go sideways. Because they don't have that. They put things on credit cards, and then all of a sudden they have a lot of credit card debt and they're not sure how to do with that. That's another conversation we can have as well. But the very first thing, Excel spreadsheet or one of these programs that can help you take your every single expense you have and write it down, and then sacrifice. There's going to be times where you just don't buy the thing you want or get the thing you want. But that will set you up to get more things you want in the future. A little bit of pain now for a lot of happiness later.
I'm kind of a shopaholic. So.
Well, see, you can do that if you budget for it, right? Like if you know I have this amount of income coming in every week, every month, whatever it is, you can then set aside however much, and then you know I have $200 and I can just go blow that on whatever I want, and it won't affect my ability to pay bills or hit any other financial goals that I have. So if you can set a budget aside and actually put the money to the side for those specific purposes, you can end up doing a lot of things you want to in life, and have the mental feelings that, hey, I can do this. This isn't going to hurt me in any way.
Let's hope that's what I do. I doubt it, but I'm going to trust you and do my best.
There are 5 steps to financial success, all free. Begin. Budget, emergency fund, goals, investing and saving, and navigating your life changes. And if you keep cycling through those as your life changes, or just every year, every 6 months, you'll give yourself a better shot to be financially successful.
All right. Also, may I propose to my wife over here? Oh. Julia, can you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Oh, she's so cute.
All right, there we go. That's good.
Thank
Thank you. If you want to, please feel free to.
I'll take this one, and then oh no, this one has thorns on it. Okay.
They all have thorns, just to be fair.
This one's less thorny. I'll take the
Oh,
one.
that's because my man took care of it right here. Yeah. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
All right.
If you need help, free advice guy on Twitch. I also game. So.
Ooh, I'm into that. I can
Rivals, Valorant. Do you play any of those?
I don't really play any shooters. I'm like
Okay.
an RPG kind of person. I really like Red Dead and...
Red Dead Redemption. That's the cowboy one.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's like the huge open world. That's like the best game in the last
Best game in the last century.
century. That's no.
Best game
At
ever
least the next
invented.
5-10 years, right? That's it's a great game. But see, I'm an old man, and I only have time for like one game at a time. So Valorant.
Oh, no, me too.
Rivals.
Yeah, minus the old man part.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't pull that off.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah. But you have long hair. I wish I could pull that off.
You have a
I
long
can't.
beard, which is...
It's true. It's making up for it.
alternative,
Yeah,
so.
it's making up for it.
I could never, literally.
That's very true. Very true. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
A little later on, we had some technical difficulties with the video, but we captured another conversation with a couple that was walking by. So please enjoy some B-roll in place of video.
Hello. Free flowers, free financial advice. Completely free. I'm a credentialed financial advisor. I have no products to sell you. I'm a free financial advisor, and we're giving out free flowers today. So if you had any questions, we're recording a YouTube video for Free Advice Guy on Twitch, YouTube. So if you had anything you wanted to chat about, we could chat about it.
Yeah.
Yeah? You want to go chat? No questions? No?
Okay. I don't have a credit card.
Okay.
What would you recommend
To get one or for life?
to get?
How's your credit?
I don't.
So do you have a banking relationship that you've had for a while?
Yeah, I use Wells Fargo.
So, okay, that was my first credit card. You walk in there, and because you have some background with them, they might give you one. It might be a low limit. Like the first one I ever got was hundreds of dollars, right? It wasn't crazy. And then there's also credit cards or creditcard.com. And you put your information, you might be able to get one. But if you do that, just make sure that you only put things on it that you plan to pay off at the end of the month. Like if it's a cool phone, or I don't know what like sort of stuff you like, but don't buy it because you want it. If you can't pay for it cash, you can't afford it. So only put things on the credit card that you're gonna pay off at the end of the month.
What would you pay? Like, what would you pay for with that credit card?
Monthly bills, yeah, like if you, gas, yeah, phone bill. Some of them are gonna charge you for using a credit card, but just like whatever your necessities are every month, that's it. I would put nothing else on it other than that.
What made you want to like give people advice?
So I've been a certified financial planner professional since 2014. I worked at a company called Vanguard for 13 years. And as you move up the corporate world, unfortunately you start helping, I don't want this to sound bad, but like you help wealthier people. And I grew up with a poor single mom, and I wanted to help people like her. So the more I moved up in the corporate world, the further away I got from people like her. So I quit my job last year and I started giving free advice to people. Thank you. But if you ever want to chat further, I'm Free Advice Guy on Twitch, YouTube. I'm live 6-7 days a week during the day and at night. At night I play video games. During the day I just chill out talking about finance stuff. So yeah, If you ever need anything, or if you ever know anybody, actually, if I could ask you to do anything in this world, if you ever find somebody who needs help and they don't know where to go, because most people can't either afford a financial advisor or get help, just tell them there's a free financial advisor. I'm a fiduciary, which means I have to do what's in your best interest. But tell them about Free Advice Guy. I just want to help people. That's all I want to do. I only work on donations. I don't sell products or anything like that. So if somebody wants to pay, they can. But I don't want anybody to think that they have to. I just want to help people. So freeadviceguy.com has all my stuff, all my links and all that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, we got a couple people to stop. It didn't look like, one of them even said, I have no questions, but one of them started asking a bunch of good questions, and we had a great conversation. I got to tell them about my background, why I started Free Advice Guy, and hopefully set them off on a good path and let them know that they can reach out to me in the future if they need some help.
After we talked with these two, things slowed down a bit, so we decided to shake it up. Going back to the garage and bringing out only necessities, we walked Mill, hoping to engage with more people. We didn't know he was talking to us at the time, but this gentleman was looking out for his friend, trying to flag us down. He doubled back and got his friend to take a leap of faith and chat
The
with
other way?
us. We heard him the second time around.
Talking about.
Huh? What? Yeah. Hello.
What does that mean?
So I'm a financial advisor. I'm a certified financial planner professional. I've been one since 2014. So I also stream on Twitch and YouTube as a Free Advice Guy. But if you'd like a flower, you can have that. But I'm here to answer any financial questions you have and hopefully help you set you on your journey for financial success.
Sweet. I'm in credit card debt right now.
Cool. Okay.
Let's put a
How
mic
do I
on
get out
him.
of that?
Off the bat, you have a job, I'm assuming, and all that sort of stuff, or no?
Not really, no.
Okay. Number one, got to do that. Get the income there. But when it comes to paying off your debts, you want to take your balance and times it by your APR and figure out which credit card or which debt you're paying the most interest to every year, or broken down in every month. You're going to make the minimum payments on everything except for that one, and just attack that one. That one's called the Avalanche method. So you
Sorry,
can.
I don't know why they're laughing.
Hey, it's okay. We're getting help. But that way you'll pay the least amount of interest over time. But if your brain doesn't work that way,
So just keep making minimum payments?
no. So figure out the one that has the highest amount of interest. Take your APR and multiply it by your balances on every single piece of debt you have. Whichever one is the most interest you're paying
Pay
per
that one
year,
first?
pay the most towards that one and the minimums towards everything else until you pay that off, and then you move it. That's called the Avalanche method. There's also a Snowball method, and it depends on how your brain works. Snowball method is you pay off the smallest one. They just messing with you or what?
Yes, really.
Dang.
You wanna go right there?
Sure, let's get out of here.
This guy was so humble and displayed some serious wisdom in allowing me to walk him through a plan to get his debt figured out. He did this while his friends were messing with him the entire time.
Friends clowning on you, man.
Yeah.
All right, so the other one though is called the Snowball method. It doesn't even matter what their APRs are or anything like that. Line them up by your biggest debt to your minimum or your lowest debt, and then pay the most towards that minimum debt until it's gone. So pay minimums on everything except for the smallest until it's paid off. Then you roll that payment into the next smallest, and you keep going until they're all paid off. But it also comes back to discipline. You gotta stop using your credit cards right now. That's number one thing. And then only use them when you're gonna pay them off at the end of the month. Otherwise, never use your credit card. It's just, people wind up with like $15,000 in debt and have no idea how they got there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other questions you got?
Honestly, just that.
All right, debt.
Yeah.
Grind. So what type of work do you want to do?
I mean, like I resell on the side. It's not
Okay.
like I don't get paid like per hour. It's kind of just like a small business type, but like
Yeah.
not really a business. So I'm just making like it's like a hustle. I'm just making money just reselling stuff. So
I like that.
I do have like some income coming in. It's not like I'm just like still just racking up the credit card, but yeah, I just found myself in some debt.
All right. Keep the grind going, right? And at this point, once you have accrued debt, it comes down to sacrifice and having a plan to just attack it and pay it off.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Good to meet you, man.
Get you this back. Can I get a rose too?
Yeah, for sure. What color you want?
You might think this is where our debacle with these guys ends, but you're wrong. I knew the other guys had to have some sort of questions. It was time to bust their chops.
All right, you guys are clowning your bro. I know you guys got questions too.
He does.
Good.
No, Scott does. I'm like a couple million dead.
There's no way you're a couple million in debt. Okay, I was gonna say, there's no way at your age you're a couple million in debt already. But I know you got questions. I know he can't be the only one with questions.
He's got questions. He answered all my questions. Okay, good.
He's on his way to financial success now.
Ask him. He just asked me credit card questions today.
What you got?
Facts, wait.
All right.
He literally did ask us credit card questions today.
All right, so number one, don't do it.
Yeah, my parents were pissed I got one. Yeah, because I told my parents, I was like, I want to get one just so I know, like, in case if I do, like, my bill didn't hit or paycheck wasn't enough. I got one. My parents were pretty pissed, like, immediately.
Yeah.
And so I told them, I was like, I'm just going to use it for gas and groceries and stuff. And I had a couple of buddies, like, don't go over, like, 30%. Only pay, like, because my bill was like $1,000. I get like a credit $1,000.
Yeah.
And I only spend 300 of it.
Okay.
So, but that was about it. I mean,
all right.
I don't know, like.
You have the right principles though.
Yeah.
Only put the stuff you're gonna pay off at the end of the month.
Yeah.
The
Use
one
it
thing,
like a debit card.
correct. The one way I challenge you though is you should never look at it as a, if I don't have enough, I'll just use my credit card.
Yeah.
Before you get to that, you should have an emergency fund.
Yeah.
Figure out, do your budget first. Figure out how much you're spending every month and every year. And then get an emergency fund you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
I like 12 months of an emergency fund, which covers 12 months of basic living expenses. Some people feel more comfortable at 3, 6, some people 2 years, whatever it is. That way, if your paycheck doesn't come up right, you're pulling out of funds set aside for that emergency, as opposed to a credit card, which now you're gonna pay interest on, or doing something
Like
else.
the $35 a month, that's just paying for the credit card.
Wait, when you say $35 a month, what do you mean?
Like, I got this thing, it said I only have to pay $35.
Oh, yeah, that's how they get you to pay forever. They want you, like, they're happy to keep floating you credit, because this is the other messed up part. You'll be making that $35 minimum payment every month, and they'll go, hey, guess what? Now you can do $2,000. And you're like, oh, cool.
$40, $50.
Correct, $40. And you're like, that's not really that much. But your balance keeps creeping up. So pay it off.
Yeah.
Every month, zero. Never carry a balance. That'll keep bumping you up, shows good credit. You'll keep establishing it. And then,
or even just use it and pay it off immediately.
There's,
it's like go get gas, $30, and then put the money right from my card right into there, pay it back right off.
I don't know there are like background things that if you pay it off too fast, it doesn't actually positively affect your credit. So float it for like 2 weeks.
Purpose. Yeah.
Correct, yeah, float it for like 2 weeks so that it can actually be established and shown on your credit that, okay, it hit, you owe it, and I paid it, as opposed to just boom, boom. You might be fine doing that, but I think you have to carry it for a little bit before it really counts. All right.
I think that's...
Honestly, what I kind of did, I was like, all right, I'll just, like, I didn't really have the money. I just, like, use a credit card and be like, oh, I'll just pay it back in like a week. And then, like hoping I just make money, like, selling some stuff. Then I just don't end up selling anything. I just have that, like, and it just keeps, it's like a snowball effect. Going down.
Debt is the biggest trap you can possibly get into because it's so easy. Oh, I can just get this right now. I can just get this phone. I can just get these shoes, like whatever it is, like right now. I don't have to wait. But then, without even thinking about it, you paid $200 or $500 for that thing, but over time, now you ended up paying $300 for that $200 thing or $700 for that $500 thing because of interest. You just let it go over time, and then you keep stacking it, and it just becomes a bad thing. In your mind, every month, zero balance.
Yeah.
Just zero it out, and you'll be in a much better situation than most of the people walking up and down the road today. Cool?
I think that's all I need.
Cool, man. If you ever need anything, I'm Free Advice Guy on Twitch, YouTube. I also play video games. I don't know if you get into Valorant or Rivals, but those are my my 2 video games. So, yeah, you want a flower for somebody?
Sure, I'll take one.
All right, whatever color.
These gentlemen had great questions that most people have. Thank you guys for being willing to have the conversation and take the advice. We continued our walk on this beautiful Valentine's Day and ended up running into these 2 ladies. They were ready to go with some financial questions.
Yeah, do you guys have any questions or anything that you want to talk about?
We can take away. How do I make a monthly budget for myself?
That's probably the most important question that anybody could ask. You could do it through Excel. I think Rocket has some sort of thing, but you really just want to write down every expense that you have down to the penny and figure it out. And you won't be able to finish your budget in 1 month. It'll be something that takes you probably 3-6 months because this random thing will pop up that you buy, or, oh, I totally forgot about that expense. That way you can actually figure out how much you have per month, compare it to your income. Do you have a surplus or a deficit? If you have a deficit, you make changes. If you have a surplus, you begin investing and saving towards whatever goals you set for that money. But step number 1 is making sure you have a surplus.
How do I build credit if I've never had a credit card?
So the best way is go to, do you have a banking relationship?
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, if you have an established banking relationship, they'll give you something, even if it's like $500. And then just, if you do this, please, every month, pay it off. Only put things on it that you were planning to pay off that month anyway, credit card or gas or internet or whatever it is.
And it was at this point we determined we had to mute the audio. There was a disagreement that turned more sour as time went on. Needless to say, I'd like this video to be monetized, so we're gonna have to keep their colorful language out of the video. Maybe I'll upload this part to Patreon. Who knows? You can tell by the expression on our faces how rough it was getting. Yikes. Anyway.
Back to it. So go to your, whatever bank you have in a relationship with. You can set up a credit card with them generally. It might be small. And then whatever you plan to pay off by the end of the month, just do that. Think in your mind, once you get this credit card, if I can't pay for this cash, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
So it does not go on the credit card and all that sort of stuff. You can also go to I think creditcard.com or creditcards.com and put your information, see which one will give you the best rate or has the best reward system, things like that. But your local bank is probably going to be the easiest way for you to get a credit card.
That's good information. Thank you.
Thanks guys for stopping. I appreciate it.
This was great. Apart from the interlude, these young ladies had great questions, and I was happy to be able to help. We were passing by one of the many clubs on Mill, and on a whim, we decided to see if the bouncers had any questions. Little did we know, this would turn into one of the most extensive conversations we'd have, starting with financially preparing to buy a house in the current housing market.
Hey guys, do you want a free flower or free financial advice?
Financial advice.
All right. I mean, I'm a financial advisor. I'm a certified financial planner professional. I have no products to sell you. I'm a fiduciary. Yeah. I worked at Vanguard for over 13 years, and I quit my job to give free advice to anybody who needs it. So.
Would you say to someone with a moderate income with maybe some type of leverage they need to get standard homeownership?
So it's like a multi-step process, but figure out your budget because you need to know your debt to income ratio. Make sure your debt is as low as possible. Build up the reserves as much as you can. Get an emergency fund, but then start putting your money towards your goal of a down payment, right? So it could be a high yield savings account. How many years out do you want to buy?
Maybe 5 years.
Okay, so that's kind of at a weird time frame for investing. Because right, if you throw it into stocks, you might get some more growth, but you could also see a downturn in the stock market and then that money's not there when you need it. So you might be looking at high yield savings accounts or money market funds that are paying in the 4 to 5% range. You just keep stacking cash towards that goal so you can get the down payment money for your house.
Do you think a high yield savings account would be enough to keep up with the formation of the housing market?
Generally, right now, no. There's really going to be no guaranteed investment. The reason the high yield savings account is good is because it's a guarantee, or as close to a guarantee as you can get. Whereas if you try to invest in something that'll keep up, it'd be like stock market. But again, what if we run in, you want to buy that house in 2029, but in 2028 we have a 08 type downturn. Now you're like, okay, and you got to wait. Well, okay, bad example. March of 2020 example, when stocks went down because of COVID. Housing was still going up, even though the stock markets went down, right? Yes, exactly. So the inflation goes, but the stock market tanked there in March, even though it did shoot back up. The main problem with the investing is if you need that money at a specific time and there's a market downturn, then you got to wait for it to come back. And a lot of people sell out at the bottom, which is bad also. So you just want to, I like the high yield savings or a money market, not because it'll necessarily outpace these things, but because the money is there and it's safe. And you're earning a decent return on it.
I mean, do you think that'll get someone to a median-sized home?
Over,
it could work. On
over
a
time,
single
yes.
income, that could be tough.
Yeah, I did it. We're a single family household. My wife's a stay-at-home mom. So you just save, cut back in your normal life, through all that stuff, and then you eventually get there. But I mean, just to be straight with you, the housing market's different now than it has been in our parents' life, our grandparents' life, right? We're in different circumstances.
So even when the Fed's cutting rates and the rates are still going up, do you think that like people still have a normal chance of getting a home, or do you think it's going to get harder as they start?
So if they're going to drop interest rates again, well, it's tough because when they raised interest rates before, we didn't see prices go down like we should have.
No, we didn't.
So if interest rates go down, we'll probably see prices go up. So I think it will be harder until something else economically breaks. I don't know exactly what that is, but
like a rapture in the housing market, just on a single family house.
Something like that. Or I mean, I don't know how blunt to be about this, right? But if they end up deporting millions and millions of people, you'd see a housing market crash most likely because there's a bunch of empty homes all of a sudden, right? I'm not saying I hope for that, but one of these random things that seem out of the realm of possibility actually happening, then that could work. A normalization of wages and growth, less government spending, right? That's the biggest inflationary problem we have is government spending. Yeah. Oh, I mean, it definitely is. That's guaranteed. Yeah. But it's a guaranteed way to devalue the money supply, is through government spending.
Yeah.
So something has to break there. Otherwise, yeah.
I mean, they're gonna figure it out.
Hopefully.
Or not figure it out.
Yes. Hopefully.
You can bet on not figuring it out.
We're in trouble now. It's either going to be better later, or we're going to be in a lot more trouble. So I'm hoping for the good. I'm a positive outlook. Yeah, I'm an optimist.
Oh, okay,
So.
that's good. I mean, if you're walking on Mill and ask people if they want a rose or financial advice, there has to be something good in their heart there. For sure.
I just want to help people, man.
Yeah,
So
for sure. I mean, people need it.
yeah.
100%.
But hey, if you guys ever need anything, I'm free advice guy on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, everything. So if you ever need anything, or maybe more importantly, if you ever know somebody who needs help and they don't know where to go, I'm here. I'm a credentialed advisor, so a fiduciary advisor. So if they need help, I literally will do what's in their best interest.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of like a chicken and the egg type thing. Do you think that people in like the millennial and like Gen Z, do you think that they should pick up the tab on those homes? Do you think they really are worth what the boomers are selling them to, or are we picking up the bags and it's just that one last thing that they can?
This is a great question. No, this is a great question. If you're planning to sell the house in the next 5 to 10 years, no. If this is your forever home that you're going to own for the next 30 years, I can't guarantee anything, but I would bet my life that 30 years from now, that house will be worth more than whatever you pay for it today.
So as that chapter closes with that side of the population, do you think that there'll be more homes that need to be lived in than not lived in? Or
Population.
do you think there'll be an excess of homes like what's happening in Japan?
It could definitely happen because our birth rates are incredibly low.
Yeah, so
So
there'll be less people for those homes.
correct.
So do you think that there would be a deflation that would happen and we would be once again underwater on a lot of those mortgages?
It's definitely possible, but there's so many factors that would go into that happening. But it's absolutely a possible outcome. Absolutely.
There's definitely a thought there that I'm like, are we buying the top here?
But when, right? Because the boomers aren't going to fully die out for 30
Long time,
years,
yeah.
right? So
I mean, do they have 30 years left?
Some of them. The younger boomers, maybe.
Nice house.
So it's just like do you want to wait to make these big financial decisions that long? Or do you want to do what you think is in your best interest now, right? Because if you're buying a home, you shouldn't just buy a home because it's the American dream or it's the next step or whatever.
Yeah.
You should buy a home because it makes sense to you, right? I want security. That's the place I want to live forever. Well, maybe not forever, right? But this is the place I want to live for the foreseeable future. It makes sense for me to buy. I'm going to buy, right? Not because it's the next step or anything like that. You just want to make sure the reasons are right. Yeah. Hey, great to meet you. Yeah. Thanks for letting us talk. I appreciate it.
Wow. If you wanted a crash course in the current housing market, potential future market situations, and what to do in this wild time, you just got it. It was getting dark, so we considered coming to a close until we ran into Nova and friends.
I'm good, man.
Okay.
Flower.
Yeah. Which one do you want? Yeah. My wife likes the purple. Okay. See, that's the one that I like, but everyone keeps picking the purple ones.
Really?
Yeah. You want one? So there's 5 steps to financial success. Number 1, if you remember nothing else from this conversation, get a budget, like to the penny.
Yeah.
If you can mark that down, figure out where you're wasting money and where you can be more efficient with money, and then work to do whatever you have to get a surplus at the end of every week or every month, however you like manage your money. And then from there, an emergency fund. So if you ever lose your job or something happens in your life, you got money sitting to the side. But then set a goal, like a real specific goal for your money with a time horizon, risk tolerance, and then you can invest towards that goal. But a lot of people try to jump to how do I invest to make money when they don't have a budget, they don't have an emergency fund, they don't have goals. So if you can, start with that budget. Your life will feel infinitely better if you know every month that like whatever you like to spend your money on, you've already set money aside for that, and it doesn't have to come out of savings, doesn't have to do anything, you just have it. So if you ever want to chat or anything, I'm Free Advice Guy on Twitch, YouTube, anything like that. If you ever run into somebody who needs help, but yeah, Free Advice Guy. I'm no strings attached. I have nothing to sell you. I have nothing. Yeah, good to meet you.
I'm Nova.
Nova, Luke.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. This is Richard.
Hi, Richard.
We noticed a trend while doing this. We'd run into groups where we get several no's, but then one person in that group would say yes and open the door to a beautiful conversation. It was awesome.
Great to meet you guys. Thank you for the conversation. Free Advice Guy if you need anything. Thank you.
Man, what a day. For the rest of the night, we had plenty of pitches, plenty of plugs, and gave out a bunch of flowers. But our time giving out free financial advice was closing for the day. Thank you to everyone who took the time to stop and talk with us.
We had a great day out here in Tempe on Mill Avenue. We sat on the corner for a couple of hours and helped a bunch of people, some on camera, some off camera. We walked up and down Mill Avenue and got to have some great conversations with people, learned about some people's debts and other things they were concerned about, and really hope we got to put something on their hearts and on their minds to get their financial journeys going forward. I stream live 6 to 7 days per week on Twitch and YouTube at Free Advice Guy. So if you or anyone you know needs help with your finances or maybe just some advice in life, come to Free Advice Guy. I just want to help you on your financial journey. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next video.